This is Michael. Today he is going to hit his girlfriend so hard, she ends up with permanent brain damage.
Three dead in this vehicle. The girl is critical. They say the guy without the seatbelt did the damage.
No seatbelt, no excuse. From the Road Safety Authority.
I'm the sous chef here. With any luck, I should be head chef by next year. I've got this amazing fiancé, who I won't be marrying this weekend, because I'm about to be in a terrible accident. But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over there, and they should never put the deep fryer so close.
Somebody help me!
I'm working overtime because I want to take my family on a nice vacation. Soon they get a call telling them I was killed in an accident. But hey, I'm wearing a busted harness here. And the company should have checked those tanks to the...
There's been an accident! Run, get some help! Sergeant Standard, call the ambulance!
Accident? There's no accident. The company should have replaced that ladder years ago. I knew I shouldn't have reached over like that. And why isn't there a strict policy about two people doing a job like this?
Hey, Jim! You take care of that skid? Yeah!
This was no accident. The company knows it's against code to store that much weight up there. I knew I should have been focused on what I was doing. And it's obvious the supervisor didn't report that broken shelf.
James was with our company for 10 years before this tragic accident.
Whoa. Accident? What are you talking about? Your company never fully trained me to deal with high voltage wires. And the way they were insulated, it was obvious someone wanted to get home in a hurry. What was I thinking? Not wearing all of my safety equipment.
You would save the life that day. I chose to look the other way. Walk away. I hope you have an option that.
Good morning, folks. Remember that safety is a value. Our values, like honesty and integrity, never change. I believe in safety all of the time. I believe we need to work together to improve safety and that we need to take care of each other. Remember, nothing to me is more important than your safety.
Yes. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I got that tea time you wanted.
Oh, okay, for this afternoon, right?
Actually, right now.
Hey, super. Well, let me see if I can get out of here.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks. Folks, I've got another meeting that I've got to attend. So, Bob, if I can lean on you to come up and facilitate for the remainder of the meeting, that would be great.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank all of you for your attention today, and we'll see you again next month. Thanks very much.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you can answer some questions on some of the topics we went over today.
Absolutely. I think there's more safety discussion yet to be had. I'm just going to let Bob guide you through the rest of that. Take care, folks. We'll see you next month.
All right, everyone. The rest of us are focused on our production or lack thereof. We got some key.
Morning, Jim. Can I borrow you for a minute?
Yeah, sure, you bet, Kurt.
So you know we've got those 3 excavations the client wants us to finish up today. I've got crews parked, ready to go, but I'm faced with all this paperwork, and that paperwork's really going to bog me down, and the crews are going to be sitting there waiting to go. I'm wondering if you can help me out, and we can work with a quick solution to get through this a little faster.
Let's see, well, both of these documents are 2 important documents that really help us focus on prevention, Curtis, and they do have to be filled out on site with the crew present. So I understand the constraints you're under, so hopefully you can do like you've done in the past with some other things and carry on with the work and get it done in the time frame we need it done in.
Okay, well, I will see what I can come up with.
All right, thanks. Let me know how it works out.
So how are things going with my priority lift? Are you planning on a safe production and focused on prevention?
It's going really well. We're about halfway through our pre-lift inspection.
I know you guys are the safest crew on this job site over the last 3 years, and if you see something unsafe, you're going to act upon it. So I'm not worried about the rest of your inspection. Let's get going.
Hey guys. I noticed your rigging is a little bit frayed. But you guys are the safest crew on this project. So don't worry about it right now, but get it changed out for next time.
Yeah, okay guys.
Hey Chuck, hang on. I gotta talk to you.
What's up, Sammy?
How you doing?
All right.
I got another big job for you right after lunch.
Well, I won't be able to do that. The company wants me tied off all the way up, all the way down. This is gonna take all day.
I know, but I gotta get to 3 other groups right before lunch, so just get her done. Thanks.
Hello? Hey Curtis, how you doing? You made contact with a foreign line? Anybody hurt? Okay, I'll get more details. I'm on my way out. I'll see you in 15 minutes.
What message was I sending?
Look at all these incidents. We budgeted all kinds of time and money for safety meetings, and for training in order to get our people believing in safety all of the time, and so that they'll take care of each other. Why aren't they getting the message?
Are we ready to go, Lockout?
Yep.
We'll need to confirm the isolation points with the drawings.
Can't remember what I did with them after lunch. Went down there, checked everything out. The system out looks safe. Billy Tucker was working right beside it. He seemed to think it'd be fine.
Come on. You had the site orientation, and you were at the safety meeting this week.
So was everyone else. We all heard what they said. If I go ask for another set of drawings, they're gonna know I lost the first set.
I didn't last this long by being careless. I don't listen to Billy Tuckers, and this week you're my responsibility. So guess what you're gonna do next?
Get some drawings.
Yeah, you got it. What message were you sending?
G'day, I'm Josh. I'm a civil plant operator and I've been working in the industry for about 5 years. When I'm not building roads like this, I like to spend time with my daughter, and that's why I need to go home safe. When you move around a construction site, you need to be aware of exclusion zones. It could be nightline like this, solid fencing, or even a barrier. Exclusion zones are absolutely essential to everybody's safety. They can be created as part of a safe work method statement, or SWMS, to allow a high-risk activity to proceed. For example, the operation of mobile plant. Exclusion zones can be part of your site's traffic management plan. Exclusion zones are also needed around trenches of 1.5 metres or more.
It's going to park down the back, but there'll be an exclusion zone around the scaffold.
Listen up at your startups and toolbox talks so you know where the exclusion zones are on your site. Never interfere with signage or barriers. You could put another worker's life at risk. If you need to gain access into an exclusion zone, find the site safety manager first before entering. Hey, you know what it's like. Sometimes you get a member of the public come into an exclusion zone like this. Stop them and safely escort them off the site. If you see anything unsafe about the exclusion zone, stop work. Tell your safety manager and get it fixed. When you're working around exclusion zones, think safe, work safe, go home safe.
Every day, you go to work knowing the dangers you face. You know falls from height can be deadly. But did you know there's another lesser-known fall hazard out there? It's not heavily regulated, but it jeopardizes the safety and productivity of workers, bystanders, and equipment every day and everywhere. Dropped objects. Every year, thousands of workers are struck by falling tools and objects. But the biggest impact? In 2015, these kinds of incidents killed 519 people, and that's just in the United States. When dropped from 100 feet, a 1.5-pound tape measure can reach speeds over 50 miles an hour and impact with forces up to 1,800 pounds. Besides the danger to workers directly below, dropped objects can also deflect off structures and strike outside the work zone. But together, we can help prevent these incidents. 3M DBI Sala Fall Protection for Tools solutions are designed to help secure a variety of tools and objects up to 80 pounds. Our team can help educate you through the Dropped Object Prevention Competent Person Training course and can help you implement a prevention plan so we can help protect not only you, but those around you too. Contact us today to learn more.
face a lie. Been bitten by a great white. Have you ever been hit by a four-wheel drive or blown up with dynamite? That's the feeling of an arc flash, a little worse than a heat rash. When it hits your face at 20,000 degrees, you'll melt like pizza cheese. You see, you can be floored from a faulty cord or a killer zap from a dodgy power board. To steer well clear of life-threatening shocks, you gotta double check you turned off the breaker box. So you're fixing your grandma's heater, test before you touch with a calibrated meter. You'll only guarantee there'll be zero jolts when you register 0 volts.
When working with electricity, you can go up in flames. You must test before you touch to live one more day.
We're living in modern days. We source energy in different ways. A lack of power can be misleading. Before you touch copper, check what else is feeding. Some people use a battery source, and there's solar too, of course. Be thorough when confirming their isolation to avoid premature cremation. These rules ain't only for domestic power. It's the same if you're working on a big old tower. Remember the rules right around the clock. Test before you touch to avoid a shock. You gotta stay sharp, it's no time to dream. Gotta have a little plan, gotta work as a team. So communicate with your mates, of course, and ensure you got the power turned off at the source.
When working with electricity, you can go up in flames. You must test before you touch to live one more day. When working with electricity, you can go up in flames. You must test before you touch to live one more day.
Welcome to a normal working day at your business premises. This is Jeff. He's your facilities manager. He is a duty holder and responsible for electrical safety on your site, although he himself is not an electrical engineer. John is an electrician working in your business. He is supervised and managed by Jeff. Jeff instructs John to carry out a risk assessment and then repair a fault that has been reported on switchgear powering operations on your site. On this basis, Jeff assumes he has discharged his responsibilities and John is qualified to work on the fault. John makes the equipment dead, opens a panel, tests for dead and begins work on the switchgear. While changing a burnt-out isolator, he drops a spanner. The spanner is about to make an electrical contact between two live-phase conductors that were left exposed when their shrouding was not replaced during previous work. But before we go further, let's find out more about John. He is 42 years old, he is married and has 2 children. He's been an electrician for 15 years. Next week is his daughter's 8th birthday. They'll be having a party for their family and friends. Now let's take a closer look at the electrical installation. The last time the switchgear was worked on, a contractor forgot to replace a shrouding. The spanner will make contact between 2 conductors. The resulting short circuit will generate sufficient heat to vaporize surrounding metal parts, which will rapidly expand, creating an explosive pressure wave, sending a conducting plasma fireball with temperatures in excess of 20,000 degrees centigrade, or 4 times the surface temperature of the sun, directly into John's path. John will not be protected from the strength of the blast and will receive horrific external and internal burns. 3 days later, John will die in hospital as a result of his injuries. His family will be left without a father and husband. The incident that brought about this devastating loss happened in just a fraction of a second. This tragedy resulted from a failure to prevent the incident and to protect John from it, all stemming from a failure to properly assess the risk. Jeff and your company will be personally and legally responsible for this. Dangers like these arising from electrical faults are made more dangerous by their benign outward appearance, with nothing visually obvious to warn of danger. Hazards are often exacerbated when a dangerous disconnect develops. Assumptions are made by duty holders and managers about how electrical equipment is used and the competency of those using it. These assumptions can often be quite different from the reality on the shop floor. Arc flash is a low-frequency, high-consequence event. As such, its rare occurrence can foster a complacency that is utterly disproportionate to the very real consequences that follow when it does happen. In this case, the loss of John's life. Now, let's rewind and see what should have happened. Our process is defined by the 4P model for arc flash hazard management. Firstly, predict. After making an initial assessment, we calculate the severity of the thermal effect of an arc flash on a given piece of equipment, in line with the IEEE 1584 standard for performing arc flash hazard calculations. In the case of the switchgear John is working on, the assessment takes into account distance to worker, voltage, prospective fault current, and disconnection time. Computer modelling of these factors results in a value for incident energy of a potential arc flash. This value is a key component in assessing risk and devising measures to be taken to prevent. Mitigating steps can be taken to prevent an incident from occurring by designing it out, eliminating it, or removing a hazard at its source. With arc flash, completely eliminating the risk is very difficult. In practice, this means trying to reduce the incident energy that would be released by an arc flash, or by keeping personnel at a safe distance from the equipment. The reality is that often arc flash risk cannot be completely eliminated, and so the last line of defense is to protect with PPE, or personal protective equipment, that is suitable for the level of risk involved as calculated in the previous steps. The fourth stage that completes the cycle is publish. All risk assessments must be recorded and may also require field marking and safety signage. Safe systems of work, safety rules and procedures should be devised and documented, with training delivered to anyone affected. Risk assessments need to document the severity of the hazards and measures that have been taken to mitigate against them. Wherever possible, these should be dynamic and task-based, available to those carrying out work, and including the facility for those people to continually reassess the risk based on environmental conditions and the state of the equipment. Now let's return to the arc flash incident. As before, human error has meant that despite John believing the equipment is dead and taking the precautions specified in his training, the exposed fuse switch has made contact with the dropped spanner, resulting in an arc flash. Now, however, the incident energy of the flash is below 8 calories per square centimetre, thanks to remedial work carried out on the equipment as a result of the risk assessment. Furthermore, John is wearing suitable protective clothing, gloves, helmet and visor. The arc flash occurs, but at a reduced energy, and because John is wearing PPE appropriate to the hazard, he is shaken but physically unharmed. This represents a success for the proper health and safety systems and processes, but the real success is that John will be at his daughter's birthday party. Why Electrical Safety UK? We are global leaders in electrical safety and specialists in helping businesses like yours assess, prevent and protect against the risk of arc flash, using best practice and ongoing training. If you choose to work with us, you can expect the following. We will visit your site to meet you and your people. We will make an initial assessment of your installation, its use, maintenance and your processes. From there, we will prepare a fixed price proposal, including a full inspection of your installation to assess the incident energy levels of an arc flash and prepare a risk assessment. We provide incident energy reduction recommendations and an order of magnitude costing to implement them. This includes recommendations on personal protection equipment appropriate to the incident energy. More importantly, you will be able to rest assured that you have taken the necessary steps to avoid the worst, most tragic outcomes. No matter where you are in the challenging process of developing or implementing an electrical safety management system, you can rely on Electrical Safety UK.
A full tank of propane can generate the same explosive force as over 100 kilograms of TNT. Stored inside a shipping container, this tank became a bomb. Workers at a construction site used this barbecue during their morning break. Afterwards, the burner valves were turned off. In the afternoon, the barbecue, with its tank connected, was carried into a shipping container used to store equipment. Shortly after, the doors on the container were locked. The valve on the barbecue's propane tank had been left on. One of the burner valves was also on, likely opened inadvertently while the barbecue was being carried. Propane gas leaked into the container. Heavier than air, it filled the container from the bottom up. The container's vents were too high and too small to vent the propane. Overnight, The propane built up to form an explosive atmosphere. Early next morning, a worker unlocked the doors to an office container and then unlocked the equipment container storing the barbecue. He didn't smell any propane. He returned to and entered the office container. Inside the equipment container was a soft drink cooler. As its cooling system cycled, its thermostat's relay generated a spark. The propane ignited. The container exploded, throwing the worker against the wall of the office container. Fortunately, he survived with only minor injuries. The property damage was extensive. Windows of nearby buildings and vehicles were shattered. The explosion was so powerful that one of the equipment container's doors, weighing over 100 kilograms, flew across the street into a park. How can we prevent similar incidents? Store refillable propane tanks like the one in this incident outdoors in a well-ventilated area. The instructions for this barbecue say that if you plan to store the barbecue indoors, you need to disconnect and store the tank outdoors. Shipping containers are commonly used at construction sites to store supplies and equipment. For weather resistance, they are designed to be sealed with only small vents providing limited ventilation. This design traps flammable vapors and gases, increasing the risk of fire and/or explosion. Adequate ventilation is a key factor to reducing that risk. So, if you do use shipping containers to store flammable substances, such as paints and fuels, and even equipment containing fuel, make sure those containers have adequate ventilation and are designed for the safe containment of the substances. Some municipalities have specific bylaws regarding the use of shipping containers for storing flammable substances. Check your local bylaws and also the BC Fire Code for additional requirements.